Coming up next on Win News, a second man charged over the Hilston shooting. Inquiry into impacts of nuclear energy, and wet weather puts a damper on this year's wine festival. See you shortly.
Across the Central West, this is Win News.
Tonight, reform needed to how insurers deal with natural disasters. Hundreds of new homes slated for Orange. And a plan to upgrade the regional rail network. Good evening, I'm Steve Hart. Also tonight, why this polio patient is burning the candle at both ends. It's almost 2 years on since the heartbreaking floods that ripped apart Central West towns. Now a list of recommendations has been released following a parliamentary inquiry highlighting insurers' roles in helping those communities recover. A second person has been charged over an alleged shooting in Hilston last month. A 46-year-old man was allegedly shot in the stomach after 3 people entered a home on Burn Street on September 20. On Wednesday, a 25-year-old woman was arrested following a vehicle stop in Griffith. She was charged with concealed serious indictable offence and faced Griffith Local Court yesterday, where she was granted conditional bail, and she's due to reappear next week. Earlier this week, a 22-year-old man was charged with offences including shoot with intent to murder after he was arrested in Wagga Wagga over the same incident. He's been refused bail and will reappear in Griffith Local Court in December. The victim of the alleged shooting remains in a serious but stable condition in hospital. A new parliamentary inquiry is looking into the impacts faced by communities due to nuclear energy. With the nuclear energy debate continuing across the country, communities will have their chance to be heard. The committee aimed at providing answers to those impacted while considering the country's future energy needs. Financial, environmental and legal implications will be explored, with submissions open until the 8th of November. Orange could be receiving more than 300 new homes aimed at addressing the housing crisis. With up to 20% being labelled as affordable, Redmond Place, the first site recommended for the proposal.
Been a proposal to amend the Orange Local Environmental Plan, and that will allow the rezoning of that land to residential land, which will allow us to fast-track this proposal.
The site would be home to a mixture of housing types, including single dwellings, duplexes and townhouses. Public exhibition will open on Monday and close on November 12. There's a new strategy to guide investment in regional rail in New South Wales. Regional Transport Minister Jenny Aitchison has announced the Renew program to create a 10-year investment pipeline for rail infrastructure. Opportunities to improve the country rail network will be a key focus of the program. Talks with stakeholders, including rail operators and local government, will begin next year, with the final strategy to be delivered in 2026. After being diagnosed with the paralysing and deadly disease polio, a Bathurst local is giving back to the hospital that saved his life. Years on, Richard is still living with the ongoing effects. However, a candle-making business has given him a new lease of life. The wet weather in Orange has put a dampener on this year's wine festival, with organisers having to cancel the anticipated night market due to the rain. But with the weather expected to clear over the weekend, there's still plenty of events over the next couple of weeks to get involved in. The event showcasing the region's finest wines, food and culture, bringing in locals and out-of-towners to the area. A sip and savour wine tasting will be kicking off celebrations tonight. Childcare workers will soon begin to see a little extra in their bank accounts, with a 15% pay rise to begin rolling out from December. The federal government was today spruiking the investment aimed at attracting and retaining educators, but some are questioning whether it does enough to address the critical workforce shortage. Paying a few extra cents on top of every purchase could be on the way out, with the federal government planning to ban debit card surcharges by 2026.
Around $4 billion a year is being collected in fees and charges by the banks, by the card providers, by the payment system providers.
The Reserve Bank's launched a review into the practice, which will inform any legislation. Banks and providers would be barred from charging businesses a fee for debit surcharges, protecting the bottom line of our local cafes and other small businesses. Jared's here with all the sport, and JC, a big night for Dubbos as IO.
That's right, Steve. He's going to captain his country for the first time. And speaking of big occasions, Elson Boy has a mountain to climb in tomorrow's Kosciuszko.
This report brought to you by Harvey Norman. Shop in store or at hn.com.au.
The countdown is on for Dubbo's Isaiah Yeo as he prepares to pull on the green and gold again. Yeo and Matt Burton stretching their legs alongside their Aussie teammates this morning as they hit the streets of Brisbane, looking relaxed ahead of tonight's Pacific Championships opener against Tonga. It'll be a big night at Suncorp with Ja'Kai Whitfield and the Gillaroos due on field in just a few minutes to tackle PNG. You can catch Nine's coverage right here on the Win Network. Champion jockey Tommy Berry expects Dubbo horse Elson Boy to be in it for a long way in tomorrow's $2 million Kosciuszko at Royal Randwick. Berry has a perfect record on Elson Boy, riding him to victory in the Western Region Country Championships qualifier earlier in the year, linking up with trainer Darlan again, chasing the richest prize on offer for country horses.
I haven't spoken to Dar yet. He's a man of few words. He doesn't say a lot. He sort of leaves it to you. But the day I rode him at Constable, he just said, jump out, go fast and keep getting quicker. So I think nothing's going to change there. But a lovely man and very well respected in the industry, and it'd be lovely for him to get a nice race like this.
The Brett Robb-trained Gallant Star and Mac Griffith's Compelling Truth also line up in the race. Regional bragging rights are also on the line in the Cossie. There's a big contingent from the North Coast taking on our charges, but the biggest danger looks to come from the Southern Tablelands. And that is our night in sport.
Good on you. Thanks, Jared. Weather is next with Sarah Cawte. Sarah, some rainfall around the region overnight.
A couple of millimetres in most places, Steve, and continuing today, but the wet weather should ease off over the next few days. Stay with us. Your weekend weather details are next.